Hi. Welcome. We are going to finish our oracles only. Normally this would be one video, but I pulled so many messages. So it's a 3-part video. So feel free to scroll on my channel and find part 1 and part 2. Okay, so our next message, and I'm leaving these out to refer to them if I feel like there's a connection. But this is like a cute little cabin in the woods. And we've got the number 4, which represents stability, security. Flip it over, and we have the words confusion, anxiety, doubt, lost, misgiving, clouds. And what this reminds me of is people who, there are emotional vampires out there and predators out there who will study you. If you, I have definitely been victim to this, where I'm like naively like, oh, they're asking me questions about my life and my dreams and my fears and my goals. I'm thinking naively, oh, they want to get to know me, they care about me and my dreams, and but really they're just calculating and they're collecting data so that they can pervert it and twist it back and hook you and pull you in with your dreams, right? I had somebody do this to me last year. I flew to the Netherlands to meet this person, but he gleaned all this info because I was just, no boundaries, open book, which I don't think there's anything wrong with just being who you are, but there is value in having awareness of, discernment of people who, and it's so hard to see because they're so good at being sneaky, But anyway, this person learned of my dreams and then dangled them in front of me like a carrot. And I actually, at one point, we were sitting on our little bench, like we were 100 years old in a little garden, and he started bringing up my big dreams. Like, I have a huge goal of getting to Italy, and I want to build like a holistic healing center, a nonprofit. I want it to be free. I want people to come and spend a couple weeks and regulate and heal. Anyway, and he tried to twist it to if you marry me, then you can have your visa and you can build your dream in Italy. And I said, stop. No, like a dog. I literally was in my head, treat him like a dog right now. And I'm not a mean person, but it was just stop. I'd already had 3 months of his shit. I was just, I was in a bad situation, halfway across the world, didn't know anyone. And I just had to put up with a few hours of being with this person who totally lied to me to get me to come meet him, spend all my money to fly across the world to come meet him. Meanwhile, my kids were barely paying rent back home. It was such a bad situation. But anyway, this reminds me of that, because this was one of my dreams that I shared with him. Was I've always had a dream of having a little cabin or a little tiny home in the woods. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so Oregon, Washington, that's just such a beautiful location to do something like that. But the example was when I was no, stop. In mid-sentence, I said, no, do not take my dreams and twist it to further your own agenda. Stop. And why I bring that up is because of the keywords on here. Clouds, lost, insecurity, confusion, doubt, misgiving. People, this is how you know how the Bible says you'll know them by their fruit? You know a tree by its fruit. Anyone who brings these kinds of emotions or these feelings or this kind of cloudy confusion, insecurity, if you recognize that in yourself, why am I questioning myself? Why am I doubting myself? Why am I questioning my worth, my value? What? No, then it's not you. It's the people that you surround yourself with who bring that out in you. That's their fruit. The judgment, the confusion, their own insecurities, they're causing confusion within you because of their own fears and their own insecurities. And so I don't know. I feel like this is more of a warning card, or a call to be more discerning of the people that you allow into your inner circle, right? Into your innermost parts of who you are. And I mean, sure, the world is full of multitudes of personalities and people, but there are predators out there who do seek to latch on to you, to suck you like a succubus, for your energy, and you feel drained afterwards, even though, yes, you are source and there is an unlimited amount of abundance and love within you. But there are also incubi, succubi, there are demonic entities out there who will latch onto your light and isolate you and tear you down and create confusion, fear, doubt. None of that is love. None of that is even a good friend, right? A good friend would never, would you ever think of your closest friend? Would you ever seek on purpose to cause confusion or plant seeds of doubt in their mind about anything? No. So I feel like this is more speaking to that, and we'll see as we pull more cards how that comes into play. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. Whatever, I must have meant to say it. And then we have Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. And this has a book. Let me find the book to that, and we'll read about it. This makes me think of, doesn't that look like an old gramophone? I mean, it's a flower, but it makes me think of music. And then I see the little crown on the nightingale's head. Like, you are royalty. So, and then 41 reduces to 5, which big changes. Okay, Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. In the darkness of night, Nightingale Spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harbinger of dawn to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved, and the illumination song of the Nightingale Spirit calls you to a new level of self-awareness and connection with the light. Yes, there is a shadow and darkness, but love and prosperity exist everywhere, even in the seeming emptiness. Even in the seeming emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. Hearken to the message, letting the music of the nightingale's song remind you that love is all around. And I'm hearing that song, All You Need Is Love. Isn't the Beatles? I don't know. All you need is love. Or what am I can't really get the tune. Maybe I'm hearing it from like Moulin Rouge. I don't know. Feel it and trust in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize that the spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance. Love and abundance are on the same frequency anyway. Illumination will happen soon. Okay. So if you're in a dark place right now, if you're maybe in the wake of experiencing someone who has cast like a shadow over you or caused confusion or fear or doubt, and you're having a hard time seeing the light in the darkness, this card is reminding you that illumination will happen soon. The sun will rise again tomorrow. Like, just hold on to hope and trust that tomorrow's light will renew your ability to recognize that spaces that seem empty, yes, even when interacting with energy vampires, there's always an opportunity to choose love. And I'm proud to say, with that person that I spoke about who I destabilized, I mean, that's my choice, right? I made a financial decision. I wasted all my savings. Anyway, I destabilized my family for flying across the world for love, But fine, but I was never once disrespectful or rude. I spoke my truth. When, like, for example, when I was like, no, you don't get to dangle my dreams like a carrot. I don't think so. But I was never unkind or rude to this person. So I'm proud to say that even in dark spaces, love still exists. And I was a prime example of that. Like, I was literally across the world. My kids were getting evicted because I couldn't pay rent. Like, I felt so hopeless and helpless to help my kid. Like, I felt so guilty. Meanwhile, I was working like 16 to 18-hour days at a restaurant, getting paid euros under the table, but I couldn't get my money back home because I didn't have a car. Like, I was just stuck in this little village in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. Couldn't figure that out. But and this person, anyway, I don't need to vent, but I paid for everything the whole time I was there. So it was like, just somebody who sucked me dry for attention, for finances, for everything. So it was a dark place, and I felt helpless, and I just wanted to be home with my kids, and I'd made a mistake, but I was stuck for 3 months in another country working, but thank God, like, I loved the restaurant owners and their family. I was like family to them, and my coworkers there took me to Amsterdam, and so there was love in the middle of a dark time for me. So I made a mistake, but even in the midst of being in the middle of nowhere in another country with in a bad circumstance of my choosing, there was still light and there was still love and a silver lining in the midst of that whole disaster. So that's what this card says. Even in the darkness, there is hope. There is light. Trust in tomorrow's light. Renewing your ability to recognize that this, okay, even in your own ability, maybe you need to renew your own ability to know that you will be able to recognize shysters in the future. Maybe that's why I brought that whole scenario up. Because I know if you haven't ever experienced being like treated by a narcissist or sociopath, if you don't know, it's a very destabilizing experience. But those of you who know. And it causes you to feel crazy and to question yourself and your ability to trust yourself going forward in the future. And let me tell you, you will be able to trust yourself again. And that's what this card is saying. Trust in your ability to discern going forward. You experience what you experience and you learn from it. And you know, if you don't learn from it, then you just repeat that lesson in a different body, right? In a different meat suit. But you take what you can and you learn and you apply it and moving forward and you just get better and better and better and fine-tuning your, memory or your muscle memory or your discernment muscle, to be able to recognize patterns in people who have ill intent. Anyway, okay. So if you're feeling like you're in the dark and you need clarity on a situation, maybe that could apply because it says illumination will happen soon. So if somebody is feeling like left in the dark in regards to some kind of connection or lack of communication or understanding of surrounding a situation, and you just feel like, what the fuck? What happened? If you're feeling left in the dark, don't worry, because 3 things cannot be long hidden. This is a Buddhist quote. Excuse me. The sun, the moon, and the stars. What am I saying? The sun, the moon, and the truth. There's a star card right in front of me. Here, I'll read it to you. Wishes come true, peace, miracle, dream, falling in love, hope, inspired, blessed, nighttime, and providence. I was just kind of handling a deck of cards and this fell out. So I put it in front of me to give me hope. I need hope. So I'm really committed to, because this last year for myself was such a disaster. I landed in Frankfurt. So I arrived in Germany February 5th. And so basically my whole year, and then I came back in May 5th, I came back. But this person has still to this day never stopped harassing me online. And who knows, narcissistic injury, that's a real thing. And these people get hell-bent on destroying your life. And there's a smear campaign. They enlist people to help them, and they create these elaborate plots and schemes to fuck you over. But you are divinely protected. If you've ever experienced this, just water off a duck's back. Pay it no mind. And just keep shining. In fact, here's a Phoenix card. Just rise from the ashes. And I am just dead set on 2026. My word for that year is peace. Anything that comes into my life is going to have to compete with my peace. And haters going to hate, right? Taylor Swift. Haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake it off. And when you vibrate higher, those cockroaches can't fucking touch you. They can't even enter the frequency or the dimension that you're vibrating on. So just, every time I think of this person, I just say, I forgive you. I release you. I forgive you. I release you. And that's that. That's the only bit of energy they get from me is forgiveness, because in releasing them, I'm releasing myself. All right, back to, there's a protection message. All right, the darker the skies, the more it seems the dawn will never appear. Ooh. Yeah, when your circumstances seem fucking really bleak, like I'm talking like dark, like there's no way your brain can even think of any solution or workaround, and your energy is completely drained, and it takes all of you to just wake up in the morning. That feeling, I know that feeling. But again, I want to remind you, you'll get through it. But let me continue to read. The darker the skies, the more it seems the dawn will never appear. But Nightingale Spirit is here to remind you that the sun will shine again. Yes, you will soon feel the love and notice the abundance that surrounds you because it never left you. Because love is you. Like, oh, I just can't wait for you to experience that. Just hang in there, you know. You will soon feel the love and notice abundance that surrounds you. Sing now. Put on some music or simply sing in the empty space. For finding the light within and giving it voice will give rise to hope and help you begin to hear the call of another who, like you, was beginning to fear the light would never come. Oh my gosh, I love that. Let me read that again. Sing now. Put on some music or simply sing in the empty space. For finding the light within and giving it voice will give rise to hope and help you begin to hear the call of another who also, like you, was beginning to fear the light would never come. Yes, bring the light into the darkness with love from within. Give it voice and know that daybreak will soon be here. Yes, I love that. I love to sing, and I quit because of this stalker person. I was on like a little singing karaoke app, and he friended all my singing friends, and I don't know, who knows what he said about me to them, but just really, I quit singing on there. But I love to sing, and when I joined, my reason for joining was to change the frequency because I was stressed out about my life and my job at the time, and my friend told me, oh, you should join the singing app and just sing and it'll change your frequency. And I was on there 1 week, and this person slid into my DMs. I'm a great listener. Tell me all your problems. And I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Verbally trauma dumped on him. And then it was a disaster from there. But after that horrible situation, I quit singing, and I need to just not allow that to stop me. But it also is, I need to just carve out time for singing. But you should sing because it's true. Singing raises your vibration. It heals, frequency heals. Even humming stimulates your vagus nerve. Yes. Okay. I'm going to put my little phoenix and my stars back to remind me that I am rising above the ashes and vibrating at a higher frequency. And peace is my birthright. Ooh, crow spirit. Co-create. Another bird. Oh, that's interesting. So we've got a theme of birds. It says co-create with spirit. Number 17, which reduces to 8. Okay, I'll try not to go on a big tangent this time. As you look around you, you can sense the magic that pulses. Oh, it's a question. As you look around you, can you sense the magic that pulses through the world? Have you witnessed how every thought can become a thing? How every intention can call the universe into action as the sacred laws shape what you experience? The universe works in perfect order. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, I'm going to add emotions also because our emotions really help shift things. So when you align your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and emotions with spirit, you will want to crow with delight, feeling the excitement and wonder of being in harmony with something much larger than yourself. Crow Spirit says you are right on target now to see your dreams magically come into being in the visible world. The laws of abundance, compensation, frequency, and praise are operating in your favor now. Woo! Remember to be grateful and praise what is yours, even if what did I do? Praise, frequency, and praise are operating in your favor now. Remember to be grateful and praise what is yours, even if it is still coalescing into form, still residing in the invisible realms of co-creation. No matter what area of your life you're concerned with now, what you hope for is on its way, for Spirit is your co-creation partner. Here's your protection message. Crow Spirit wants to know why you think there is no magic in the world. Or do you believe that there once was, but it ran out, leaving nothing but ordinariness? Although conditions have become challenging, you have no reason to believe that everything you've set an intention for will elude you. Right now, the outer world is shifting. Can you feel it? Maybe you're fretting about experiencing the results of some of your own poor choices or judgment from the past. Crow Spirit is here to remind you that you can always course correct and get back on track. Like me, I totally fucked myself for 2025 by spending all my money to go meet some stranger online that I only saw 3 pictures of, that were not even him or highly edited. Like you hear about people getting catfish, that was me. Lesson learned. And I learned not to self-abandon, but like, we make mistakes. We're human. Everybody makes mistakes. We're constantly making if you want to call them mistakes, but I mean, like, we're learning. That was a huge learning, and I'm actually grateful for it, because I really feel like it was like a fast track towards where I'm headed next. Like, I feel like that whole trip, that whole experience, it was like, you know how they have college courses that are accelerated? I feel like it was an accelerated course, and I learned and I passed my tests with flying colors. I remained kind, honest, true. I did self-abandon, but I'm aware of it and I learned from it. But at least in my dealings with others, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of how I handled that situation and how I still to this day handle that person who's trying to make my life a living hell. I just speak life and kindness and release and forgiveness, I'm not going to lower myself to a lower frequency because someone else is making their own poor choices. So I made a poor choice. I'm course corrected. If you made a poor choice and you're depressed or feeling like life is dark and you can't see any hope because of your choices, just course correct. Nothing is forever. It's not going to stay. Circumstances change. Yes, there's cause and effect, and there, if there's something that you did that may seem irreversible, then you just learn to live with it. I just did a reading the other day about somebody getting someone else pregnant or a third party pregnant. I was like, what the heck? And I was thinking about that today. I'm like, wow, that would be like a huge, oh shit. Because it happens all the time to people, right? I mean, first time I had sex when I was 19, I got pregnant, and it's like, oh shit, that is like life-changing stuff. However, when my dad took me to lunch to tell me what an embarrassment I was to our family name and to stand up in church and apologize for getting pregnant, I was like, go fuck yourself. I was like, listen, Dad, I know the circumstances aren't ideal and they don't, further your agenda of, uplifting your ego and your illusion of our perfect godly family. I'm like, but this baby is a blessing and God has a plan for his life. And, I don't need you. I don't need your help. And I was on my own, well, I've always been on my own, but I made a big scene. We were in a restaurant at lunch and I slammed the chair into the table as I got up, all indignant, 19 and pregnant and scared and alone, But I was like, actually, I don't think I cussed at him. I just said, I know the circumstances aren't ideal, but God has a plan for this child's life, whether you like it or not. So, no, I'll have a nice life. Peace out, But yeah, there are things that are irreversible, but you just find meaning in it, learn from it, and move forward, And if there was something that caused those consequences, maybe you had a moment of low integrity, then you just recognize it within yourself and course correct. Easy peasy. New day. Every breath is a new chance to begin again. It says maybe you've been hit by a loss or disappointment as a result of an event that had absolutely nothing to do with your manifesting, yet it has shaken you to your core. Crow Spirit asks you to trust that no matter the temporary conditions, temporary, everything is temporary. No matter the temporary conditions, things will right themselves very soon. The law of balance makes it inevitable that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And look we've got our climber guy from part 2. You can do anything. You can scale any mountain. Ain't no mountain high enough. There's no obstacle that can stop you. And if you're in a valley right now, if you're in a dark place, remember that remember your crown, remember who you are, and that your ability to rise above it, you haven't lost that ability. You haven't lost the ability to learn from your mistakes and to change and grow from them, and who knows, like my son, like that baby is a blessing. I didn't plan for that. I didn't plan to get pregnant when I lost my virginity. That was crazy. But there's a plan. There's always a bigger plan than what you can see or comprehend. And I don't know what I'm babbling, but just, I can't believe I'm only 2 cards in or 3 cards in. This is crazy. Anyway, I just want to say, oh, and then the other side of that coin, it said if there's something that you're dealing with right now that really had nothing to do with your own manifestation, like you didn't cause it, and you may feel like a victim of circumstance. If you're in that camp, victimhood is hard to get out of. My mom is an eternal victim, and I think I've picked up on that. And so a lot of my life, I had a victim mindset. I don't know that I had a victim mindset. I think it slipped out easily and I would catch it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do and I don't catch it. I don't know. But victimhood, because that's tricky, because I don't deserve this. I didn't do this. I'm a good person. I'm just nose down, do my, wake up, work, go to bed, and then shit hits the fan. And you feel like, how is this fair? How is this fair that I've worked at my job for 20 years and this person comes in and 2 months in, they get the promotion and I get overlooked? It's not fair. But it's also not anything that you can control. Like anything outside of yourself, you can't control. And if you believe, like I believe everything starts at an energetic, spiritual level, then go there. Go there first. And yeah, I should probably, I'm going to stop talking. I don't mean to like preach, but I was just going to say, like, that example of a job that doesn't value you or a person who doesn't value you, then leave. Go find somewhere that will value you, or begin your own business, because no one will value you like you will. So we do have more power than we give ourselves credit for. I stayed for 7 years in an unsafe, dangerous marriage. And people are like, well, why'd you stay? Try to victim shame or whatever. But that's a valid point. Like, why did I stay that long? There are millions of reasons. But I did have the power to walk away, but I didn't realize that power until 7 years later. And once I realized I can leave, I'm not doomed. I'll survive. Life won't look like, it won't look pretty and shiny from the outside of our little house at the end of the cul-de-sac and the basketball hoop out front. You know what I mean? Like the little white picket fence life. But it was a lie anyway. It wasn't even real anyway. Yeah, I threw little parties and hosted little parties. People told me I should be a party planner because I had like little hors d'oeuvres and the decorations and the gift bags. Like I lived such a lie of a fucking facade of a little happy family life. And it was all shit. And I didn't feel that I could leave, though. I felt powerless, and I felt like a victim of my circumstances because I was a stay-at-home mom to an abusive husband, or like with my 3 little kids, and then a husband who would come home and beat the shit out of me or pull me out of bed by my hair and drag me down the hallway. If I'm awake, you're awake, and make me sit on the couch while I watch poker on TV. Like crazy stuff behind closed doors, and I didn't leave, and people are like, why didn't you leave? There's reasons. But once you do wake up to the fact, once you wake up to your power, once you realize who you are and your crown and that you can survive anything, then the darkness doesn't scare you. The unknown doesn't scare you once you remember your ability to climb mountains, and to come out victorious. To go to another country with no money, with all the last of your money, and hope things will work out, and I'll get a job when I get there. And I worked 6 days a week, 5 days, 6 days sometimes, depending. But like, believe in your ability to overcome anything, and nothing will scare you. The darkness will be like an old friend. Oh, hello. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And we have otter spirit. This always makes me think of love. They're such little lovers, snugglers. Oh. And it says you're never alone. So even in the darkness, even in the hopelessness of your current circumstances, you are not alone. You're not alone. Okay, let's read about our otters. 42, which of course reduces to 6. All right. Otter spirit. Like true friends, otters nurture each other and express their affection through touch. Actions such as holding hands and giving hugs offer reassurance that we're never really alone and that we're always cherished. Otter spirit has appeared to remind you to experience and express friendship in a tangible, tactical way. Communicate with your voice, facial expressions, your gestures, and your actions. Letting your love express itself beyond just the words that you speak. Otter Spirit's message is that presence matters. Absolutely, it does. So remember to be fully present with those you care about, helping them sense the love and affection and appreciation you have for them. Now is the time for a joyful celebration of the love in your life that expresses as friendship and companionship. Hug someone, touch their arm, or simply look into their eyes with your full attention, saying, I care. You matter. Make time for friendship. Otter Spirit promises the moment you reach out, you will remember that you too have many who love and care about you. You are never alone, and you are always loved. And here's your protection message. Have you been channeling all your affection to just one person? Or counting on only one friend or individual to hold you up, heedless of your resources all around you? You deserve support and love from many people, and when Otter Spirit arrives, you are reminded that you have a community. Somewhere is another friend who wants to experience the joy of giving to you and seeing your happiness as you receive their gift of attention, affection, and kindness. Otter Spirit wants you to open your eyes to see the love that is available to you from all directions. Do you believe it? Do you feel it? Reach out to someone and you will see that they want to hold your hand as much as you want to hold theirs. Love, support, and friendship are available to you. So connect with community and friends. And the line that just stood out to me just now was, reach out to someone and you will see that they want to hold your hand as much as you want to hold theirs. I think, sometimes we get into these dark spaces in our mind and we overthink, or we just, all the lies, our thoughts get jumbled up, Not every thought that you think is your own, or you are not your thoughts, I guess I should say. But sometimes we lie to ourselves, or we allow ourselves to believe that we are alone when we're really not, or that people don't care. Like, for example, when I took my kids and went into hiding for 5 years, we were hiding. I got accustomed to I went off socials. I wasn't on Facebook. And recently someone encouraged me to just post one little post, see what happens. Because I didn't want to show up again. And because I used to be very vocal on Facebook and encourage, and people would flood my inbox. Thank you. You're so I would just share my life. I on one hand, I portrayed when my kids were little, the happy little life while I was getting beat up by my husband. But after leaving him and getting divorced, I would just share my life and struggles as a single mom in hopes of encouraging others. But I thought nobody cared. I'd been gone off of Facebook for 5 years, and I didn't really want to resurface, even though I don't need to hide anymore. So I did. I took the advice. I made a quick little post with a little a little handful of photos of me and my kids from the past 5 years. Just a quick little, hey, no, it's been a minute. And boom, I had 200 comments from people, specific, paragraphs. We were worried about you, wondered about you. I cried and I cried and I cried as I scrolled and I read each. I didn't even like any of them or comment back because I was so overwhelmed, but it was, I'm going to cry right now. It was just such a shock to me. Like, I'd gotten used to being alone. And I think that's what happens. Hello, darkness, my old friend. We get so used to isolating ourselves and convincing ourselves that no one cares. Like, what's the point? Why even try? When that's a lie. That's not even true. And then you just, almost like a reflex, you just push people away because you're used to doing it alone, And it's like, you don't want to even believe that anyone cares because you've convinced yourself that they don't really care anyway, and they'll just disappoint you if you have any expectations on them. But what that taught me, when I just put that one post out there and I got flooded with love and concern after 5 years of silence, of me disappearing, and people cared, that like genuinely cared and deeply, like they weren't just like, oh, praying for you. It was like actual thoughtful, like paragraph responses from hundreds of people who I grew up with or that I'd met or known in various walks of my life and the 40 years that I lived in Oregon, before I ran to Texas to hide. But when you straighten your crown and remember who the fuck you are, remember that you have stardust running through your DNA, and that you can rise from the ashes, and you have risen from the ashes, and you can do it again and again and again, and as many times as you need to. You can build yourself up from nothing. When you realize you're not afraid of the dark, you're not afraid of going it alone, then you don't push people away. Then you realize, okay, I actually am a badass. Like, this is me. This was me a few months ago, remembering, oh my God, why am I hiding? Why am I ashamed of who I am? I'm a fucking badass. I literally protected my family against court orders, against the corrupt family court system, against their abusive dad. Like, I'm a hero. I was my own hero, And when you remember who you are, then even when times do get dark, because they do, you also remember that you're the light. You're the lighthouse in the dark. So when the lights go out, you can turn the light, sorry, that hurt. You can turn the light back on whenever you decide, because of who you are. Oops, I just dropped the card. It's dark in here. Let me turn the light on. Where'd it go? Hold on, guys. Sorry, I'm going to take this little light. There it is. So we'll move on to the next card. Is that where I had that? I don't even know where I had this propped up. Does that work? Family. Compassion. So yeah, I think this is a good reminder to, speaking of community, and let others love you and reach out, and especially when you're self-isolating and you've convinced yourself that nobody cares. That's not true. They want to hold your hand just as much as you need to hold theirs. Have a little compassion on yourself and what you've been through and what you've walked through and what you're currently walking through. I don't know each person's unique circumstances. Life can get hard, like crazy hard, but you'll make it through, and just pretend that's your inner child and just be like, you know what? You're a badass. Give yourself compassion and kindness. Fear. Yeah, fuck fear. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Fear's a liar. Don't give in to anything associated with fear. And distance yourself from people who operate from fear. If you want to be free of fears and phobias, then you have to understand why they exist and make peace with them. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Make peace with your fears. You've risen from the ashes before. You can do it again. You are unstoppable. Obstacles, right? We're talking about obstacles. And these both reduce to 4. 9 plus 4 is 13. 3 plus 1 is 4. That reduces to 4. This reduces to 4. Stability. Security. Be the fucking mountain. Be unmovable, unshakable, unfuckable with. Nobody can fuck with you when you've made peace with the dark, when you've made peace with your fears, when you've already like faced your shame, fear, when you've already faced the darkness and you've risen out of it. Not once, but twice, 3 times, 4 times, as many times as needed. You're unstoppable. You're unfuckable with. Do not dwell on how you are going to surmount obstacles presently in your way. Focus, so what I'll say to that is focus on the solution, not on the fear, not on the actual obstacle itself. Focus on the solution, focus on your ability to rise and overcome. There's so many birds I'm noticing. Secrets. Ooh. Conceal plans and actions from those not ready to accept you as you are. So this does not have a negative connotation. So this is saying be discerning, be wise. Kind of like me just pouring my whole life story out, my problems out to an unsafe person who was seeking to entrap me and cause confusion and fear and doubt and mistrust in my own self. I wasn't discerning. Like, here is where it speaks to being wise, to just hold your cards close to your chest. Not everyone is safe with, those not ready to accept you as you are. And that person, definitely, anytime we went anywhere in public, stop it, like, you're embarrassing, I'd hug a tree walking down the sidewalk, just constantly embarrassed by me and trying to minimize me and dull my shine, dull my sparkle. Eating in the restaurant, making a comment like, why did you order so much food? People are looking at you like, shut the fuck up. I didn't say that. I was just like, who cares? I don't care. If you care, that's your problem. But it was like every time I hung out with that person, it was just fear. Ugh. So, fuck fear. Maybe hold your cards a little closer to your chest so that you don't become prey to other people who are rooted in fear. Expect the unexpected. Balance, stability, roots, personal growth, flow, well-being, equality. I love these. I had these in front of me also to remind me that I am balanced, I am stable, I am peaceful, I am resurrecting myself from the ashes. I can do anything. I'm unstoppable. And to expect the unexpected. And no matter what happens, whatever comes across my path that's unexpected, I know who I am. I know what I've come from. I know what I can overcome. And if it's something new, I'm secure in my ability to seek out solutions. And if I can't find a solution, I'm not ashamed to ask for help. Another bird. Oh, no, it's not a bird. I thought it was a peacock. Doesn't that kind of remind you of a peacock? House of light. Do I need to... It's okay? I don't like the overhead light, but yeah, let's do it. Okay. Shine. Shine, shine, shine. 29. That reduces to master number 11. All right. Shine, for you are not only light. Shine, for you not only light your path, but the path of others around you. If you've selected this card, Spirit encourages you to shine your extraordinary radiant light. Like I said, you are your own light in the darkness, and not just for yourself, but for other ships in the night, right? If you're the lighthouse, if you're the fucking mountain that's unmovable, unshakable, unfuckable with, and there's no shame in who you are, like that dumb guy telling me, stop it, you're embarrassing me, be quiet, don't do that, don't hug that tree, don't talk to this, you don't know those people. Shut up. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to be a light and shine. Because you never know. I mean, obviously, when you shine bright, you attract all kinds, right? But you don't know who else you're helping just by simply existing and being your authentic self and rising, Shine your light. Not just for yourself, but for others, because you don't know the darkness in their hearts and in their minds. And one moment is all it takes. Just one moment of kindness, of love, of hope, can shift somebody's total perspective or light their own spark to pull them out of a dark place. You've traveled a long road full of experiences that consisted of reservations and uncertainty of self. That's what we're talking about. There are people who cause you to doubt yourself, Now you find yourself inspired, motivated, and ignited with a sense of purpose and passion. Limitations of the mind that once kept you bound have been released. Yes, and you are now ready to take that next step. It's time, dear one, to follow your heart's true calling and sing your unique song. Wow, what a common theme. All right, I'm convinced. I'm going to start singing again. I think I'll find a different singing app, though. I don't want to go near that psychopath, but or I'll just make my own music. Fuck it, right? I can just make my own little Spotify or something. But sing, let your heart sing. And there's so much healing in music and singing. And you don't even have to be a good singer. Just the act of using your voice, and something that was never, it doesn't matter if you're good or not. Like, if you don't speak it, if you don't sing it, then you're not creating. Like, just the act of me talking right now is creating something. I'm manifesting. I'm creating something that didn't exist 2 seconds ago, right? All right. Limitations of the mind that once kept you bound have been released, and you are now ready to take that next step. It's time, dear one, to follow your heart's true calling and sing your unique song. Spirit thanks you for having the courage to step away from the crowd despite the caution of the mind. The more you build on your creative passion, the brighter your light will shine. Not only will your surroundings transform to reflect your increasing vibration, but many around you will be inspired by your achievements and personal growth. Just by following your heart and doing what you love best, you will assist humanity in raising its planetary light. So what's coming to mind as you're hearing me read these words? Like, what is the first thing that came to your mind when I said that? Like, that's what you should be doing. Doing what you feel inspires you and you feel called to, and it feels like truest to your heart. That's what's going to raise the vibration of humanity and inspire others and lift them up too. We all rise together, Others around you will be inspired by your achievements and personal growth. Just by following your heart and doing what you love best, you will assist humanity in raising its planetary light. You know what? I'll share this. I have an alarm. I have a million different alarms on my phone to pray for different people and to also do affirmations. And I have one set just for once a day, every day. It says, my success supports the healing of humanity. The hose is unkinked. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon blessings flow in and through me. So it's my success, because I'm pursuing my passions. I'm trying to follow my heart. I mean, I'm fumbling through here on YouTube. I don't know what's gonna take shape, how it's gonna look or be, and I don't really care. I'm just gonna show up and I'll let it naturally take shape. But I'm showing up, trusting and believing that the words that come out of my mouth are uplifting and healing humanity. Even if it never comes back to me, and if I never know, if I never get a like, or if there aren't any comments, I don't ever get comments, it's okay. I'm still showing up, and I'm trusting that what I'm doing here is creating a ripple effect into the spiritual realm, and it's creating change, and it's uplifting. Even if just one person out there gets encouraged by my presence, by my choice to show up and do what I love, which is to share my story and to encourage and inspire and speak hope in life, especially after hiding for 5 fucking years. Then blessings upon blessings will flow to, in, and through me and spill onto others. And same for you. Just show up. Just start. Forget perfection. Just allow it to unfold and to course correct itself as you go and as you show up, and take one step at a time. Some may become envious of your accomplishments and success, but don't feel obligated to turn your lights low. I was just talking about that. Don't dim yourself or shrink yourself for others. Never. And that was my big lesson I learned this past year. Don't feel obligated to turn your lights low to appease the discontent in them. Keep shining, for soon they too will be inspired by your luminous glow. A strong current is propelling you forward in a positive direction, steered by the heart. A path that is driven by the heart is a soul that is limitless and fruitful. Have fun during this wonderful time and express your beautiful soul for the world to see. You deserve it. This is associated with sacral chakra. Prayer. Great Spirit, I thank you for the clarity, insight, and direction I have in my life. I am grateful for this wonderful opportunity to share my unique light with the world. I love this. I'm going to take this card and put it over here to remind me to shine, and that my unique essence and voice and light and expression of self makes an impact somehow, somehow, some way. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to show up and do that. Self-love. Okay. Well, where's my self-love cards? Did we get any? Did we pull any? I don't even know where they are. I thought we pulled some. Maybe it was in part 1 or part 2. Well, here's my... Oh, it's buried. It's under like 10 decks off to the side. We'll forget it. Self-love is important. We know this. Everybody knows this. Let me get a drink real quick. Sorry. Self-love. I love this theme of darkness we keep seeing. Like, see the black cat, the moon, but there's blossoms. Did you know there's like this unique flower? It blooms like once a year, only in the light of a full moon. I can't remember what it was called. I did a little blog about it on my Instagram. It's some super rare flower, and people will, I don't know, probably billionaires or something, the elite of the world, will gather around to watch this rare bloom. And it stays tight and closed all year long, and it only blooms on a certain one, like within like 1 hour of the whole year. And it's this magnificent event. If you feel like you've missed out or like you haven't blossomed yet, you're right where you're meant to be. Like, if that flower were to try to open up when it wasn't time, or without the special circumstances surrounding it for it to be in its full luminous glow and glory of this rare bloom, like, it wouldn't be special, Allow things to blossom and bloom and unfold as they should, even in the darkness, even when you feel alone and hopeless. Just remember who you are. Remember that you're capable to rise and overcome. You have stardust in your veins. Ooh, mirrored souls. Mirrored souls. 21, the number 3. There is an undeniable spiritual connection here with this other soul. This will help you see all facets of yourself. The person in question is indeed a mirrored soul, reflecting back to you hidden aspects of yourself. Both beautiful and challenging, the connection of mirrored souls is one of the hardest yet most fulfilling relationships you will ever experience. Serving as cosmic mirrors, each soul reflects aspects of the other that may need healing and balancing. Although this process can be confrontational and challenging, it is also rewarding as it accelerates the growth in both souls. So, if you have issues with self-worth and self-love, look at that, how those came out together. Self-love. If you have issues with self-worth and self-love, your soulmate will soon mirror to you those same qualities or do things that may cause those hidden shades to surface. There will be times when you will feel very tested and challenged. However, if you see this beautiful partnership as an opportunity for growth, both you and your partner will come to embody unconditional love. Each time your mirrored soul does something to aggravate and hurt you, see this moment as an invitation to go within, to find the shadow or wounded self that is being provoked by these actions. See this as a wonderful opportunity to break old belief systems and patterns that held you as a prisoner of your own mind. Your mirrored soul challenges you, but also assists in freeing you from the repetitious wheel of suffering. You are moving through the Shadowlands and coming to that place of acceptance, love, and compassion. This is the greatest gift you can bestow upon each other. Here's your affirmation. Through the reflection of your soul, I am better able to see all aspects of myself. You know, and whether or not you want to consider this soulmate or twin flame or whatever, just in everything, in every situation, look for a lesson. Look for something that can teach you how to go within and to, you know, vibrate higher, come up from the ashes. We're going to get knocked down a million times in life. Just, I get knocked down and I get up again. Ain't nothing going to keep me down. I get knocked down. Who's that? Who sings that song? Not away. He drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a cider drink. He sings songs that remind him of the good times. Oh, Danny boy. I don't know. I guess I need to go back onto that little karaoke app and sing my heart out, right, guys? No, not that one. A different one. Sexual chemistry. Ooh, we've got love potion. Love potion number 9. And we got a snake. Some roses. Be careful. Usually when things are heavily like lusty and sexual, it's usually a trap or a test. I should say it's a test for you to learn to go within and be like, okay, why am I... I'm not saying sexual chemistry is bad, but there are manipulators who use this as a hook to hook you and trick you and pull you back into a toxic cycle when you should be elevating up and out of that. Bouquet. Oh, and the number 9 for the completion. Bouquet. Love. Self-love. Go buy yourself some flowers. Oh, we have the heart. The heart is a symbol of fulfillment and joy. Romance is in full bloom for you to enjoy. Serenity rests deep in thy heart. Loving yourself is where it should start. Yeah, more self-love. Don't look to another to fulfill your needs. Learn to validate yourself, love yourself, fill your own cup from within your own well, your deep, endless well connected to source. Water your own flowers. Don't get sucked into toxic karmic connections. Distant horizon. This is also a 9. Maybe this represents love blossoming for you in the distance, across oceans of time and space, with a seagull leading the way. Something's coming in the distant, and I'm connecting these together because of the 6 and 3, like the 9s. Brave and true. Be brave and true. Spirit warrior. Be brave and true. Warrior spirit. Yeah. A self-reflection card. How would I describe my relationship with myself in one word? Ooh. I would say evergreen. Because evergreen, like landscape, like trees and shrubs and bushes and plants are constantly growing and blooming, and like they don't ever die. So it's like I just like to view my relationship with myself as ever evolving and growing and learning. And yeah, there's times when I feel like I'm not growing, or like what am I learning? Like my trip to the Netherlands last year, like what the fuck was this for? What did I learn? My roots grew down deep into the darkness of that soil, and I grew stronger and more stable and way more secure in who I am. I'll never doubt myself again. Never. So even when you feel like you're not growing or like growth isn't visible, that's not true, especially in the darkness. It's when you grow the deepest and the strongest and the more stable you come out, way more stable. Oh, I have some initials. I don't know. We'll just look at this. We've got the I. Maybe ice skating could mean something to someone with the letter Q. Quiet nights in front of the TV. H. Hiking up a mountain. Oh, the hiking boots here. Take action. We had that mountain where we talked about be the mountain, be unfuckable with, be the lighthouse, the unwavering, unshakable light of hope for yourself and for others. W, a weekend getaway. Ooh, maybe some of you have love on the brain and you'll be taking a little getaway with that special someone. We have N, a night on the town. Y, yoga could be of importance. U, an upscale restaurant. E, an evening in, my favorite.